politicians are literally using and twisting the American people into pretzels, because many of us don't even understand fully our civic life. The elements, the grounding principles that formulate that that civil society that makes America. I think that most Americans haven't read the Constitution. Maybe people will get up and down and talk to you about, oh, we believe in the Constitution, but then they want to change it. Change the 14th Amendment. Forget about freedom of religion. You have the right, but you shouldn't exercise it. You know, that's how we want to do. That's what our political leaders will tell people. And then you have folks jumping up and down, and I'll tell you straight up, I gotta say this offends me to the bone. I hear people like Sarah Palin, and I'm gonna talk about her in a minute. And for my conservative friends, don't take offense that I have bad things to say about Sister Palin, because she is doing some things that are bad for our nation. And we're gonna have that conversation a little bit later. But one of the things that offends me personally is when I hear people like Sarah Palin talking about real America is small town America. I'm a musician. I've played in small town America a bunch. I've been around the country. I've met all kinds of people. The average person I meet in small town America does not then turn around and talk about all the problems they have with city people. At least maybe they just don't say it to my face. Sarah Palin is going to talk about the real Americas, all the people in the small towns, and how all these East Coast liberal elites ruining our country. And then she's going to jump up and down and talk about, oh, but the mosque in 9/11, and we are so hurt, and 9/11 is hallowed ground. Who you think died at 9/11? It wasn't small-town Americans. It's those East Coast elites. It was New Yorkers, people from where I'm from. And you're telling us we're not real Americans until you want to get an electoral issue? You've got to be kidding me. And what I want to say to you is we need to reframe the way we educate our people, because at a certain time we as a people need to be discerning enough to dive beyond the rhetoric and start getting at the real issues. There are reasons why the conservative movement has had power in this country, and it's not just because they're anti-immigrant. There are legitimate arguments for strong national security, for limited governance, for fiscal responsibility, but we don't hear them anymore. There are legitimate reasons why the liberal movement in this American society got some kind of traction. And it's not because people want to kill babies. It's because they believe that there is a benefit to having a social safety net, that it's good for our economy to have workers working and having protections, that by giving people the best access to exercise their own rights and responsibilities, you strengthen the nation. There are legitimate reasons on every side, but we've gotten to a point where we no longer discuss the underlying issues. We just talk about the hype. When I took my citizenship test, the guy who tested me, actually when I was doing the practice test, was like, you know more about the United States and American civic society than most Americans do. And I'm like, how is that possible? How's that possible? Yeah, okay, I came here as a kid. I learned like everyone else, but I spent 8 years living in Saudi Arabia, Newt Gingrich's favorite place for religion or religious lessons. 8 years living in the Middle East. I come here and I know more about America than Americans. What's going on with our educational system? We need to be better teaching ourselves about things that matter.